Norah. You tell me you need to draw something straight away. Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, new drawing this week. Oh, what colours am I going to use? I think a little bit of this one.
Oh, bright colours this
A little
week.
bit of this one.
You throw them away.
Then a little bit of this one.
Yeah, okay.
And I think what I'm going to do, because I kind of know
Yeah.
where my drawings have been and where they've gone to, and now they're changing again, but it's kind of along those same lines.
Okay. With some more insight?
Definitely, for me.
Oh.
So the eggshells, still
Oh.
here, but they're not so sharp again.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Kind of layered, I think, this
Oh,
time.
okay. So no gaps in between?
No. No, I think they're just a little bit piled on top of each other and less sharp. I don't know why, but...
It's just how it's feeling.
And then, I think I'm kind of doing sticky figures for me. And this was me. Last week. And then through the week, today is Monday, and I saw you on Monday, but I think through the week and where I'm at today, I'm kind of feeling more like, bit of a smile, a little bit better, and yeah.
Oh, okay. So is that better in mood or worse than the other one? Because here I'm seeing the look of, that's almost an angry. Is that an angry with your eyebrows like that? Is that a puzzled look?
And I think that was anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah.
Is that worry? I don't know how to.
Oh
do
yeah,
worry.
that could be.
Because I think what angry is down here.
Yeah. Oh, that's you're right. Yeah. Okay. So anxiety.
So last week.
Yeah, you were quite anxious when you left here. Yeah.
And when I left, over a day or two, I escalated and I just got really bad. And I deleted Tanner's Snapchat. And the next day, because that night I looked and I saw him had posted his own face, and my head was just in this panic mode, and then I went delete or uninstall, and the next day he was very, very angry. He lashed out at me, and as soon as I had uninstalled it, I panicked also, because I thought, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Ian said to me, how would you feel if he did that to you? And I went, I'd be pissed off. So yeah, he physically lashed out at me and it really hurt. And he had it back on pretty quick. And so throughout the week, last week, after that panic and that escalation, I've been trying to rebuild and communication and trust, and so I'm kind of here now where I'm a little bit happier, not so anxious, and it's happening and the eggshells aren't so sharp anymore.
Okay, so what's caused the shift? So you went from a heightened state to a really heightened state. What was happening then?
The really heightened state was panic.
Found.
It's when Tanner had put his face out there and there was no discussion around it. He's just doing all sorts of stuff. And I think for me, when Tanner was really little, we didn't ever want him on Facebook. We decided we're not going to have our child or baby or child on Facebook. When he's old enough to understand, he can start up his own wee Facebook and, when he's older, and so we tried to have kept some privacy for Tanner, and even we had him where he wasn't in school notices, he wasn't on the school Facebook page. If he was, his face was blurred out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's around that, having some privacy for our child. We'd heard about kids even teasing other kids about when they were little and they were on Facebook and they were a baby, and we were really strong on our views about that.
So you said when he was old enough to make that decision. Did you not think he was old enough now to make that decision?
I was kind of thinking more like 16, 18. That's what I think is, even then that's risky.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably really risky. But also here, I've now communicated with Tanner that Dad and I are going to have a conversation around the phone, and we're going to put some new rules in place. So it's almost like we're backtracking a little bit now.
Yeah.
Because we're realising, we should have had those discussions in the early days, but Ian didn't discuss with me. He just gave Tanner the phone, and we've had a chat with Raj at Cam's,
great.
and he has said to Ian, even though you guys are a little bit different, he said you still need to keep in touch with each other so that you're on the same page, and that he's not, because he does go between the two of us.
Yeah. And how did that feel for both of you, hearing that from Raj?
Really good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need more of that.
Yes.
From
And
Ian.
Does Ian see that as working on the same page, or negotiating between the two of you to be on the same page?
He did make a comment to Raj, and that was about, I have consequences for Tanner and he just follows. Norah's just gives in and she's soft. And Raj was really good. He said, your dad, Norah's mum, and it's just natural what you guys are doing. It's that nurture. Mum's the safe, soft place, Dad's the firm one. But he said, we don't want to criticise each other for that. We want to work together, because it's just natural that that's going to happen.
With your differences, because you're different people.
And I thought, thank you, Raj. Because, I feel like I need that too. I'm not Ian and he's not me. We just need to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
So we can work together what it will look like for Tanner. And so Raj has also suggested that I would like the phone, less phone time on the weekend. And so on the way home, we've already had a discussion about that, and we've agreed that 4 hours on the weekend, Saturday, 4 hours Sunday, rather than 9 in the morning till 6 at night.
Yeah.
And then Raj has suggested that let Tanner have some negotiating or feedback on that about the time.
Yeah.
And I said to Raj in front of Ian, I said, I really don't like him having the phone in the morning. And Raj said that's also good that he doesn't, because he's woken up fresh and his first stimulation is the phone. I want him to help us around the house, get out in the garden, do some outdoorsy stuff. And then maybe the negotiation is sometime between 12 and 6. He can have the phone for 4 hours and let him negotiate. It's either 12 till 4 or it's 2 till 6. But it's 6.
Or does it need to be in a whole 4 hour block? Could it be 2 and 2?
That could happen. Actually, that's a thought too. Maybe he could have it from 11 till 1 and then 3 till 5.
And that's where Tanner tells you what he needs?
Yeah, because I think I'm more, no, this is how it's going to be. Whereas Raj is saying, let Tanner give some input so that he feels he's part of that.
Yeah. So you went through to your meltdown, and from Wednesday to now, What's been happening?
After my escalation and my panic, and I uninstalled it, it's almost like I hit a wall, and then I kind of just stepped back. I just thought, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm not doing anything, I'm not getting involved. Stuffed a lot of you.
Yeah, giving you time to recover.
I think so.
From your hurt feelings.
Yeah. And Ian's been last week was also quite hurtful in some of the things he had said, and I think, yeah, just giving me some space for me and almost to self-regulate. It feels like that. It feels like, because when I was here, I was in a really bad, and it was the Amy, the brain.
Oh yeah, the amygdala, the amygdala. Yeah.
That was really good when you explained that, because I realised that's what was happening, but I was in it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get out of it. And I was just
breathing didn't help, or trying to find a quiet place, or grounding, feet on the grass, any of those things.
I think I just kept going.
So the voice inside was just, what was it saying to you?
Well, when I think, you know, at night when Tim had gone to bed, I was checking his Snapchat and I just saw a photo of him. I went, that was the panic. I was like, no, he's doing all this stuff and I don't want him to. And I guess I'm just scared of the people online that he's talking to. I don't know. I still haven't figured out.
How do you go forward to build trust with him?
And that's where the little bit of changes happen too, because when he put it back on, I apologised to him. I said, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have done that. And I said, you know, maybe we just try and rebuild the communication and we keep it open, and then, you know, we have some fun with it. And he seems to be okay with that, and he put a I don't know how he did it, but he uploaded something onto where you can go and watch something, and he put our cat on there. And he goes, Mum, can you just subscribe to me? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What do I do if I'm subscribing to you? But he showed me where to go, and then he said, just tick like. So he's got one like, and it's me.
So you're on Snapchat now?
No, this is on something on Google. Oh, YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Yeah,
it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's our cat, and she's running around the lounge, and I videoed it years ago, but I got this little laser light, and the cat's chasing it.
Yeah.
And it was on my old phone, and he's put it out on YouTube.
Oh.
And
how do you feel about that?
Two things. One was, oh, they're so cute, and the other one was like, you didn't ask me if you could put that video on there.
Because that's our house, and that's...
Yeah, I said that too. Yeah. I said, that's our lounge, and anybody can see that, Tanner. We weren't in it, it was just the cat in our lounge. But yeah, I was like, And I said, look, maybe from now on you just check first. And he didn't sort of say anything, and I've just left it at that. So I'm still trying to figure out boundaries with him and what that looks like.
Because the boundaries are yours, aren't they?
The boundaries are mine, and I think that's what I'm trying to figure out with him. Like, because he'll have his boundaries, but I'm still responsible for him. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, but your boundaries at the end of the day are the ones that go, aren't they? Really, as a parent.
Yeah, because
you're still going to negotiate with him and maybe move a little bit, but there's still things, I'm hearing you say that there's still things like, how much of our house we're going to show, how much of our animals are going to show, how much of our life do we want to put out there?
Yeah.
Antennas.
Yeah, because I think, you know, when it's just with our friends, no big deal. But when it's with the whole wide world, I don't know. You can
restrict some of those, put some restrictions on those.
Okay.
That they can only be seen by friends, or that they're not suitable for children, or
what I'm thinking and now doing is Googling Snapchat and just learning about it, finding out a bit more. Nikki made a good suggestion, and one was put Snapchat on my phone and then try and role play with him.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, another thing on my phone.
Yeah, and he can send you stuff from Snapchat, silly stuff, funny stuff that he's got access to see, and then he could send that to you. Say, you know, you could say to him, hey, send it to me, that looks really funny. And so you can see, even through, with an open mind, and maybe not reactive.
Yes, and that's what I've got to learn. I've got to learn not to react, because I think I do. If I'm honest, I think that's my...
Yeah, because you've had these beliefs. It sounds like you've had some beliefs around the internet and computers and how we operate. And now Tanner's challenging those beliefs a little bit.
Yeah, and I think my beliefs are, you know, I'm scared of the dangerous stuff, but I'm at the extreme end, you know, where I'm like worrying about, and that's where the anxiety comes in. It's that I'm probably overthinking everything. There probably are dangers out there for him, but I'm thinking everything is a danger for him.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's how do I rein in that anxiety so I'm not at number 10 anxiety, but I'm maybe in the middle at 5 or 3 or something where I'm thinking about it, but I'm not worrying about it.
It's come on without any warning, really, hasn't it? It's come on way earlier than you thought, this topic.
Yeah, and it's because he has been asking us for, you know, Google and Gmail, and I've been like, oh yeah, I'll figure it out, I'll sort it out one day, and I've just been avoiding it, and then his friend at school helped him. And I thought his friend did it, but I found out from Ian that Tanner saw that his friend had it on his phone and said, oh, how do you do that? And Tanner did it. He wanted the Snapchat. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can communicate in the way that they all communicate. Yeah.
So I have had a chat this morning to Tanner about his phone, and I said, look, Dad and I are going to have a discussion around your phone, and I said, when you come home today, we're going to have a family discussion. And so I'm feeling quite good about that. That's where that picture is.
Yeah. So you set on some firm ideas, or what do you know what it is you're going to say to Tanner?
Most of it is around his behaviour. So he's still quite sweary at me. Like he was swearing at me this morning, calling me an F and B, and I thought, I don't like being spoken to like that, Tanner. We don't use that at home. Oh, it just slipped out. And I said, that's no excuse. You know, I'm your mum, and we need to have a bit more respect there. So,
and he's in charge of his behaviour.
Yes. And so Ian and I have talked about it, and with Raj, and Raj thinks it's a good idea, is I'm going to have a chat to Tanner around his behaviour, and the phone is going to be the consequence. So if he swears at me, kicks, hits, whatever, the phone is going for 24 hours. If he continues, it'll be another day. If he continues, it'll be another day. And so that's the first thing we're going to put in place. And then the other thing we're going to put in place is Ian thinks, and I agree, that 4 hours is enough on the weekend because he has had way too much on the weekends. And so we're going to have a discussion where I would like to say 12 till 4 at the most, but I don't like him having it in the morning. If he wakes up at 6, Ian has it, but if Ian's asleep, he just goes into his room and takes his own phone, takes Tanner's phone. He just goes and gets it. He doesn't
help
ask.
myself.
So I think we need to do what we do on the weekdays is lock it away in the office.
Yeah.
And then I think it's locked away until at least 12 so that he's got the morning to have some free play. And then the discussion I think this afternoon will be sometime between 12 and 6 he can have 4 hours. and let him negotiate there. But we're really strict. 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It goes off.
Yeah, and he knows that's a non-negotiable, doesn't it? Non-negotiable.
And even when and I've pushed that back onto Ian, I go, Ian, if it gets to 6:05, you know, I'm looking at Ian going, because Ian's firm, and for some reason Tanner is better with Ian, and he gave him the phone, so I've kind of pushed that back on Ian going, you need to help, you need to support, and I'm asking you at 6 o'clock. If I ask Tanner for the phone, I often get, in a minute, and I can ask him 6-7 times, and I'm just this broken record. Ian asks once, and he gets it. If he doesn't, he knows he's probably going to lose the phone. So there's that firmness with Ian. I said to Ian, it's really good to give Tanner some time, you know, maybe 10 minutes. You've got 10 minutes left, Tanner.
Yeah.
That heads up.
10 to 6, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is too, maybe you don't ask so many times. You just ask 2 times and then, sorry, Ian, can you deal with this, please?
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah. Because I feel like Ian and I should still be able to talk to Tanner and ask, and we get the same result. Not, oh, here you go, Dad, and oh, in a minute, Mum. You know, yeah.
What about the downloading of lots of different apps?
That's one thing we haven't talked about yet, and this is my worry. So I said to Raj today, it's kind of like small steps at the moment. So I think for us, it's more about if the bad behaviour happens, this is going to be the, you know, this will be the outcome. So this was mainly the swearing at me. I just don't like it at all. Ian said he doesn't swear at Ian, and I thought, yeah, probably because Ian just take the phone off him. You know, Ian said just smash the phone, and I went, that's not the answer. We got to work with, you know,
what you got.
You gave him the phone, so let's work with it. So I think this week is mainly around the rules around his behaviour. That's one thing we've sorted out as a couple, which has been good. And the other one is the time span over the weekend. So there are 2 things.
Yeah.
And then the apps, I have no idea. Any ideas? Because I have no idea.
Well, I would say that he checks with you before he downloads anything.
Okay. Because I've got to figure out the parent controls things as well.
Yeah.
So that is a drawing, but I'm going to put here parent controls. Parent safe controls. Because it's about keeping him safe, but still being able to have fun. Yeah. And actually,
and that's what an awesome change. That wasn't where you were sitting a week ago.
No, and I feel like the changes, I feel like the panic at the very end, as soon as I uninstalled it, as soon as I'd done that, I went, what have I done?
So did the panic subside, or did you get another sort of feeling that came on?
I got another sort of panic, but it was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble now. Like, I'm in trouble. He's not in trouble. I'm in trouble because I know Tanner's going to hit the roof. And he did. And I could have, you know, I thought about all these stories. I thought, oh, I could just make up a story that somebody hacked him and his Snapchat went through the night. You know, like, oh, maybe you got hacked and it just disappeared. And I thought, no, be honest. So I faced the consequences. I was honest. I said, yes, it was me. I panicked, Tanner. I saw a picture of you. You put your face out there, like a real close-up face, sent it out. And I said, you know, I'm just worrying about what you're putting on there and sending out. And I panicked, and so yes, I uninstalled it, and of course the tornado came. Yeah. But then later that day when he got home from school, I apologised and I said, you know, let's try and work together. And so I feel like I've learnt from that.
So what would you do next time?
knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have deleted it. Knowing what I know now, I think I'd still worry. I think it was his face. When I saw his face, a photo of his face on there, I think now I would talk to him and say, you know, who are you sending the picture to? I didn't even have that discussion with him. I just went, oh! Uninstall, delete, you know, like panic. It was like I hit the panic button. Oh, so knowing what I know now, I think that's it. It's how do I stop being reactive, and how do I? It's almost like I've got to stop and think, rather than just react.
So if we go back to the drawing of last week, it's not letting Amy take over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So our breath work will help Amy not come online so quick, or help her go. So maybe a few deep breaths.
Okay. And just breathe.
And just
There's
breathe.
the boxes there.
And yeah,
Yeah.
your box breathing.
Yeah.
And send her away, because that way the frontal lobe stays online.
Okay. Yep. That's the cortex, eh?
Yeah.
The cortex, yeah.
Yeah, frontal cortex.
Mm.
That will then, you will have, that will stay online, and you'll be able to think through some of the issues, or the issues. Maybe you write down the issues.
So now I'm going to do a face where I'm breathing. Yeah. Yeah, because I think that will. I had a patch last week where it was a nice sunny day and my head was still quite feeling, you know, I'd reached my extreme of panic. Uninstalled his Snapchat, and then after Tanner reacted the way he did, it's almost like I had peaked and then I was coming back down again, but my head was still a bit.
I imagine you would have been exhausted.
Oh, I was awful. Yeah, because I was just so in my head at that time. It's almost like you can't think logically.
Yes, frontal lobe. She just parted way.
So there was one day where it was sunny. I went out on the steps and I had one or two pieces of fruit and I just cut it up and I just sat out on the steps on my own listening. I could hear the birds and just eating my fruit and trying to savour the taste
At the moment.
flavour in the moment.
Yeah.
And that was really good for me. And it was just 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I needed to do that.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
So how do we go back and, not when you're here, but before you get here? So how do we
When I'm
take
starting
note
to feel
and
it.
starting to escalate? How what are you going to recognise in yourself when you start to escalate? So you don't get to this again.
Yeah, that's awful. In fact, I think I've had anxiety before, but it hasn't been that bad for a long time. And yeah, that was really awful for me.
What are the things you noticed just when you were here?
It's panic, but it's not extreme. It's
So
just
what does that feel like?
It's kind of thinking what will happen, but no, sorry, I'll rephrase that. It's thinking about what might happen, but it hasn't happened. So I'm thinking already at that stage, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And I'm not at my panic mode. but that's what's coming into my head. And maybe I'm just thinking, because when I went out on the steps the other day, my head was still quite just overwhelmed, I think. And going out on the steps and sitting out there having a piece of fruit and just enjoying the moment, I think that helped de-escalate some of the thought pattern.
Yeah, it does. You were grounding and it was slowing down, and
So it didn't make it go away, it just put me in a different place.
So if we were to look at the behaviour, when you were escalating, emotion, oops, I don't know whether I've done that the right way. So,
Behaviour,
emotion, sensation, so that's what you're feeling in your body, and the thoughts. As you're escalating, what are they? Want to write them in?
I don't have to go from the top, because
No,
I know
you-
what
as
this
you-
feeling.
Yeah.
The emotion is panic. That it's like, it's just,
What's happening to your thoughts at that moment?
oh, they're just racing.
Okay,
Yep.
racing. Yeah. So are they under T for thoughts?
Oh, I see what you mean, racing. Yeah. And I can't even think about anything else. It's kind of like I'm stuck.
So what's your behaviour? Are you sitting down? Are you marching around? Can't keep still? Are you yelling? Are you silent?
I think I'm silent. Someone else might
No,
see
it's what
it
you feel.
totally.
It's
Yeah.
about how you feel.
I feel like I'm silent and it's all internal.
So it's a noisy silence. It's a loud silence.
Yeah, I'm not physically, verbally, I'm not running around the house going, Ian, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. It's all in here, but it doesn't come out.
When does that happen? How far back from normal Norah here? Average Norah, when she's doing okay. Normal and average are they horrible words. when Nora's on the
Feeling
straight and
okay.
narrow,
Yeah.
how far back, where are you back here? Do you go silent?
That's interesting. Because this can happen with lots of things for me. So, for example, the time I went to Picton on that day with my sister, and I came home and I was like, "Hi, honey," and Ian was grumpy.
Yeah.
I just slipped into here. My brain just went like.
Is that a defense? Do you think that's a defense? That's like a protective move?
It's definitely protective because I'm exhausted from.
So what's happening inside your body? What are the sensations?
It's like a slump. I don't know if that's a good word to use.
What does that feel like?
Slump is just like I give up.
Okay, so that could be a thought. So are you feeling palpitations in your heart? Are you feeling tight throat? Like you can't speak? Some people can't speak because their throat's so tight it's hurting. Are you deep?
Yeah, I tried to talk to Ian the other day and I verbally expressed that I felt really hurt and it was really tight in here, in my chest.
So a chest tightness, so would that be happening when you're in this space?
I think it's happening here.
Yeah. feel your heart beating? Or do you hear it inside you?
I don't think I do. I haven't really probably thought about that, as in the awareness of it. It might be more here if that is happening. It's in this panic mode.
Yeah. But then that's the sensation of the panic, is it? The panic is the emotion.
But the panic is actually my thought as well.
Oh, do you say, I'm panicking, I'm panicking?
No,
What's the thought?
this racing. And I feel like I'm just going around in circles.
So what are you saying? What's the words that are happening inside your head?
Fear.
I'm frightened.
Mm.
Do you say that inside you?
No, but it feels like that. Yeah, it's a fear of, and I have had this before, Robyn, actually, when I think about it. I've had a fear of something that might happen, but hasn't happened. Yeah, it's a fear.
That's anxiety.
It's okay.
To put it lightly.
That's a horrible feeling. I hate it. Oh.
Yeah.
And the silent. My behaviour is silent because I'm trying to figure out in my head.
You're so far into your head you can't get out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So would this be the first warning system? Would the first warning sign?
Yep, definitely.
So would this be something to take notice of going forward when you go into that silent mode? Yeah. To figure out what's going on?
Yeah, actually you're right.
What could you ask yourself quietly and kindly? At that point, I've gone silent. I've gone silent.
I think some deep breathing would be good.
Yeah.
I know years ago my brain was always quite busy, and I used to go swimming and do laps, and by the time I finished, I might do 20 lengths or something, and by the time I finished, my brain was empty and I loved it. I didn't have all this noise going on in my head. So I could go for a swim.
Yeah. Or I wonder if you could ask yourself, what's going on? Why have I gone silent? When I get one or two of my triggers and I notice them, I go, oh, what's happening?
Because you're right, it's a trigger. There's triggers there.
Yeah. And it seems from what we've discussed today that going silent is your first one. And that's when, now that can be for defence because you're feeling hurt. So we've already discovered that.
Yeah.
But this panic is not about being hurt, isn't it? Is it? It's about the fear of the unknown.
Yes. Yep.
So there's also fear of the unknown.
I'm going to write that down. And I've had that a few times in my life where it's almost like feeling insecure.
Well, that's then ruminating or thinking about something that you don't know the answer to and you don't know how it's going to turn out, but you also haven't thought through all of the steps or the factors. It's almost like you get hung up. You have, because what's happened is frontal lobe's gone offline before you've had a chance to really have a good look at it.
It's almost like breaking it down, isn't it? Breaking it down into sections. But I feel like, yes, this is the area here I need to somehow learn to manage before I get to these stages.
Sometimes the word stop works.
Okay.
Stop. What's going on? Be curious about yourself.
That is a good one, actually, stop. Because when I went out on the steps the other day, I consciously did that. Like I thought, I'm going to go outside and eat my fruit and I'm just going to shut the door because he was inside and he was talking on the phone. It was really loud. And I'm just going to shut the door because I kind of want to shut him away. And I'm just going to sit in the sun. And then my sister started talking to me and I went, Debbie, just give me 5 minutes. I just want to sit outside on my own and have some space. And she went, yeah, cool.
Awesome that you can do that, sisters.
Yeah. So it felt really good doing that. But I don't normally do that, so that was good.
So that was creating a barrier, wasn't it? You created a barrier and said, I need this right now, and she went, that's fine.
Yeah, because she knows I'm going through a lot, and she has seen me in some really bad places. Yeah, and she's like, well, you need to go and get help. And I'm like, I know. So yeah, it's just managing it, I think. Because last week when I came in, I felt really overwhelmed. Just, yeah. I do definitely think this is a good one. Stop. And I think breathing is good.
Yeah. We talked about feeding the grass, didn't we? And taking. Did we talk about that?
No.
Take your shoes off and walk around on the grass.
Okay.
Just really ground. Yeah.
It's kind of like getting back to nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be in the moment. So when your feet are in the grass and you're standing there, I like to breathe in good energy and know what I'm breathing out is the bad and the toxic and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nature. Because I think the garden's really good for me too. Hands in the earth. Being outside in the fresh air. And I think when I'm in the garden, I guess I've still got stuff in my head, but I can feel it subside a bit. Yeah. So again, it's just, you know, because Tana came out last week, I went back in the garden in the evening. I'd been out there during the day and then it just got too hot. And then I went back out in the garden in the evening and, you know, Tana came out and he wanted to tell me something he'd done. But I was in a really good, calm space to listen to be able to listen to him, rather than in this panic, you know. And I think when I panic, I go, no, you can't do that. I get quite authoritative and dictatorship, and because it's my panic, not his panic.
Yeah. What he's thinking?
Oh, chill out, lady. He even says that to me. He goes, chill out, Mum. And I'm like, what do you mean, chill out?
As you're spinning out.
And he's really annoying me at the moment. He calls me Mum, but if I ask him to do something, he goes, yes, Mother. Yes, Mother. And I've said to him, please don't call me Mother. Just call me Mum. Yes, Mother. So he doesn't like anybody telling him what to do at the moment. I am in a better place than last week though, for sure. And it's definitely been a big learning curve. Yeah, so it's about rebuilding that relationship with Tana.
And giving yourself some latitude and understanding yourself better.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay, you'll make mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because you're a mum, it doesn't mean that you're perfect.
No. And I think because I did work at corrections, I'm oversensitive. Before I knew, you know, okay, there's people in the community, you know, but after I worked there, I know within a couple of weeks of working there, my brain was doing this, silent triggers, overthinking, because I knew more, and I couldn't talk about it, but it really scared me.
Did you not have the opportunity to talk to anybody?
I think they did have an EAP system, Employee Assistance Program, and I didn't use that to talk about what was bothering me, but we did use the EAP system to, I booked an appointment for Ian and I, because we were just headlocking a lot at that stage, and Ian was going through lots of changes with his health. And the guy who we saw, you know, he didn't go into detail, but he did say, I have had people from corrections come and see me just for their own mental well-being.
Yes,
And
it's a lot to carry, Norah.
Oh, it was huge. It was, and of course it made me really, I went from, you know, okay, things happen in the community and we just got to be a little bit aware, to really up here with that first, probably the first 3 or 4 weeks. Because I guess in the administration, you know, we are typing things, or we're seeing notes, and some of the stuff I felt, you know, I mean, there's just average stuff, but then there's some stuff that really, I think for me, is the kids stuff. I can't stand it. I can't stand adults fiddling with kids, and it makes me sick. And you know, there is stuff that goes on, and I just think, ugh, you know, and I know after a few weeks I thought, God, do I even want to work here? Because I just felt so jittery about it. But then I just kept going with my job, and I just thought, don't think about it. You're there to do a job. Part of corrections and the police is about keeping the community safe, and it's also about helping those people as well, because the people, you know, people also need help to not re-offend.
Yeah, how did you assimilate that? How did you work through that?
Well, I think, you know, I mean, I'm not helping them personally, but I know that's...
Well, you are by accepting them in your space.
Well, yeah. But it's... The probation officers are there to help them do that. And I see how they talk to them and worked with them, and some people made changes, and you could see that the positive side of it, and I was like, oh, it's amazing. And they even said, like, when people, and sometimes it takes them years for someone to, I don't want to go to jail anymore, I'm going to change my behaviour, you know. And when you do see the positive, it's like we all celebrate at work, you know.
And everybody has some good in them, don't they?
That's right, yeah. And I just, but I think just I became more sensitive when I worked there, and that's still with me,
Well, you can't unsee it now, you've seen it. But you can talk about, I think, in that system, you can talk about situations and how they made you feel, so long as you're not disclosing who that person was, you know, and where they lived, or anything about them, you know, no name or anything like that, but you can talk in this situation with me, because I don't disclose anything we talk about. So that sits here in the same place.
Because there was some, you know, like where kids had been, you know, abused by someone, and I just thought it was horrific, you know. And I'm talking about sexual abuse. I think sexual abuse, there was other things too, but I just felt sick.
It is hard.
It is hard. And, you know, like, I know one of the people that come in, you know, obviously an offender, you know, and we are seeing them when they come in, because we're the people who answer the ding dong at the door, you know, and you wouldn't, like, there is no particular type. I was shocked, you know, when I saw this guy, and really nice. Hello, how are you? Really nice manners. And I'm just looking at him going, oh, God, I'm not letting you near my kid. Like, you know, I hope you're not on my street or anywhere, you know, but he's obviously in the community. But also he will probably be getting counselling and help for what's happening.
So how did you feel about talking to him?
At first it was fine, because I didn't know what had happened, but over a period of time he was there, and knew what, and then I started I treated him as per normal, just like, good morning, how are you, you know, oh, I'm here to see so-and-so, okay, write his name in the book, and, you know, but inside I felt sick. I just felt sick. I was like, yuck, yeah. And I think if I could verbally express myself to him, I'd tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
Excuse the language.
Yeah.
Like, get out of this world, you know, like, go away. Yeah.
Even though you know that there's somewhere inside him there's some good.
Well, I hope there is. Yeah. And it's interesting. People do lots of things. You know, people steal things. You know, crime rate goes up, and people were stealing food. You know, not really laptops and electrical things. People were stealing food. So what's that saying about our society and what's happening now? Everything's got, you know. Stupid person, they're drunk driving again. Drink driving. You know, so there's things like that, but that's dangerous because that could kill somebody.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things out there.
Isn't it funny how we then listen to ourselves, how we judge each particular crime?
Isn't it?
And then, well, why do I judge that more harshly than that?
I know.
Those questions in your head are quite...
And then I look at Ian and I think we're not perfect. We've made mistakes. You know, somebody could say to us, well, what you did is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, it's quite interesting.
Do you think that has added to your stress and tension?
You mean working here?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But more around Tanner.
So it's still that feeling of what you know is still with you.
Yeah, yeah, and not just that one person. You know, like there was people in the community, and so I worry about Tanner. You know, I worry about. Oh, he's only 11. What if something happens to him as a child? You know, and then one day Ian and I were laughing because we knew there'd been a couple of, you know, people where they tried to take children here in Blenheim. And I had this fear, you know, so I was like, don't talk to people, Tanner, just get to school and come straight home. Worry what? But then Ian and I were laughing one day and we thought, actually, if somebody takes Tanner, they'll probably only have him for half an hour and then they'll kick him out. Because he probably meant to just drive them crazy. And so we could see the funny side of it.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, who would want Tanner for that long? They'd probably be like, God, you know, and we'd probably pay them to keep Tanner. I remember years ago, he went on this school camp and he only stayed one night, and Kelly went and got him, you know, brought him home because whatever his behaviour was, it wasn't safe for the other kids. And Ian and I were out for dinner. We thought, right, he's away on school camp for 2 nights. Let's go and have some couple time. So I think we went to out for dinner, and then we went to a movie.
Yeah.
So lovely. No. And while we were out for dinner, we got a call from the principal saying, we know, this is what's happened. I'm going to go down to where they were down the Sounds on the school camp, and I'm going to bring him home on the... if he doesn't improve tonight, I'm going to bring him back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. I said, we'll pay you if you know, to keep him there. And she went, how much? And I went, how much do you want? And it was just a bit of banter and joke.
I can see her saying that.
Yeah. And she goes, how much? And I went, how much do you want? Like, we were just desperate for couple time.
Yeah.
You know, and we know Tanner can be a handful, you know. But then there was another parent who went on camp, and she said to me, Tanner wasn't a big deal. Like, they just need to chill a bit. So I thought, oh, that's interesting, hearing it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And the mum I heard it from was also a teacher aide at another school. Yeah. So, you know, I thought, but, you know, they do have to think about the kids' safety, and that's their top priority. So, and Tanner was really sad that he had to come home early.
Oh, yeah. I know how sad he was when he couldn't go on camp that last year. That was quite awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we get back to this here, What's your thoughts around the silence now?
The silence is it's internal thoughts.
So you go silent to the outside world.
Yeah.
And you notice it.
Because when I was younger, I used to be out there.
Yeah.
I just bleh, and
Yeah.
I'd maybe be angry really quickly. Probably
Yeah.
a little bit like Tanner.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've learnt to, instead of reacting verbally or physically to someone, I've learnt to internalize, like go internal,
Yeah.
and then say to I've usually given myself about 4 days. I usually say to myself, right, give it 4 days, sleep on it up to 4 days, you know, and it might only be in 24 hours or 48 hours, but just sleep on it, think about it, but also I think it's to give my brain time to adjust. And then this is when I'm in the silent, usually.
But you're under a considerable amount of physical, emotional, and thoughts pressure, aren't you, at that time?
Yeah.
So have you ever journaled before?
I just started journaling a few weeks ago. Yeah, and I haven't picked it up. I did it for about a week or something, and I haven't picked it up since. And I found my journal 2 nights ago, and I thought, I must get back into that.
I wonder if that might be a must at that point. Oh, I'm going silent. I need to put some stuff, put my feelings, words, whatever, down on paper, and be able to then logically look at them.
I think you're right, because I need to get it out of my head. And I think by putting it onto paper, it'll help clear.
Can your sister listen? You know, who have you got in your friend network that you could maybe offload onto? And ask for, you know, talk about it.
My sister has talked to me about a few things, and it's around Ian, because I think I do talk a lot, and she said I overload him, and then he just gets all frustrated.
So what's that about? Is that about panic?
Me talking too much? I don't know. I think I'm just giving him a lot of information, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. I've heard that from him. Like he goes, I don't know, maybe it's a man brain. He only needs the pointers.
Yeah.
The
bullet points.
Yeah, he doesn't need the whole book.
So how do you feel when you only give him the pointers?
I think that works. I just have to be conscious of it.
It works for him.
Yeah.
Does it work for you? Because I get the feeling you've got a strong desire to get the whole story out.
Yeah, it might be just who I am. I don't know. Because sometimes I'm talking to him and he goes, get on with it. And he does this, get on with it. And I'm looking at him going, that frustrates me when he does that. It's like, hurry up, I don't want to listen to you. That's what it feels like. It's like, get on with it. I hate that.
Yeah. So I'm seeing you running around in this house, being silent for these boys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, because sometimes I don't feel like we're working together. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like we're all quite broken and just not a team. It doesn't feel like a team. It just feels like everyone's just doing their own thing and we're all grumpy with each other, and it's just, and in the end I just find it exhausting, so I go to my silent place and I think things through in my brain, and I think, fuck the lot of them.
Yeah.
Excuse
And then
me.
you get up here, boom.
Yeah. And the panic is when I'm in the fear place, I guess. That's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Because I can also go silent after this slump, chest tight.
And you go silent too if somebody hurts your feelings. So going silent is quite a place to go, isn't it?
Yeah, because I can, I know with Ian and I, we can just shout at each other and we just headlock. And what I've found is that I guess neither of us are listening to the other one. That's what's happening. And so sometimes I feel, and I have said to him, sometimes I don't feel heard. And so then I go to silent. Because if I'm not heard, what's the point?
So is this about protecting your feelings?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it's a real protective place to go, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, you know, there's been quite a bit of crying in this area too. There's been a couple of things happen, is where sometimes if I've cried, Ian's like, what are you crying for? And then once or twice I've cried and he's come and hugged me. Not for a long time, but that has happened in the past too. And then he's just sat and listened. And I think he's then realised, you know, I said to him one day, I've got a lot on my plate and I just need support. And I just don't want to be criticised.
I'm wondering if Ian hasn't done that for a long time. Do you feel that that might have gone?
Yeah. You mean the connection for us where he...
That type of connection where he can physically get up and move over to you and put his arm around you?
Yeah, that's not happening at all. Yeah. A few months ago, I was making a conscious effort to go over to him and hug him. So he'll have his walker and then I'll go over to him and go, you know, come on, let's have a hug. And he'll move aside from his walker and I'll just hug him. And we were holding each other. It was actually quite a nice connection. And I could just feel him. He was just like...
Oh, yeah, you're holding him up.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's heavy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just a hug, hi, bye. It was real holding each other.
Yeah.
But we haven't done that probably for a month or 6 weeks now because I've just felt he's been so grumpy and angry. I'm just like, I don't want to hug him. Yeah.
So it's silence in the way again, isn't it?
Yeah, because we're pretty broken. Yeah. And I just, you know, there are things that are not happening for Ian and I, you know, I suppose you could say sex, so sex doesn't happen because of where we're at. And, you know, he has a catheter he's been using for 2 years or more. Things don't work very well for him. I've got menopause, things aren't very good down here for me, but I think there's other ways of having intimacy, which is hugging, kissing, touching, but there's just nothing. There's zero.
Have you, with all the talks you've had with Nikki and around, have you and him talked about that?
Not really. I've talked a little bit with Nikki in front of Ian, and I think we had a meeting once with Nikki and I just said we were broken and yeah. And so yeah, I'm going to this place more and more now because this is my survival mode, I think.
Yeah. What would happen if you hugged him and he he got grumpy.
If I hugged him and he got grumpy,
Yeah.
I'd unhug him. I'd be like, no, you can't be grumpy when I'm hugging you. Maybe you can, but yeah. But someone,
I wonder if it matters. I wonder if it would help you connect, even if he was grumpy.
Maybe.
Just an idea.
Yeah.
Just
A lot of the time I feel like I'm always the instigator,
yeah.
and it's dry. I find it exhausting,
Yeah.
just always making the effort.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's a two-way street. But then when I look at Ian and the pain he's in, like he said to me today, I was trying to talk to him about Tanner on the phone, and he said, he said, I just got enough going on, and he said, I don't really care, because he's just got so much of his own health, and he hasn't really verbally expressed that much. And then I was like, oh, okay. So that was really good to know.
So how did that make you feel? What were you thinking when he actually expressed that about himself?
For me, that was like opening a door or a window, It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're letting me in. You're telling me how you feel.
Yeah.
And so I can adjust a lot more when somebody's more like that. If they go, oh, I feel like shit today, I'm in pain. I'm like, oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Because then I can, whereas I guess I'm not, if he's not expressing himself, I'm just like, oh, grumpy old bastard. Like, he's just grumpy and I'm tired of being the sounding board. But if he tells me how he feels, maybe I need to say that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would it be hard for you to tell him how you're feeling?
No, it wouldn't be last week I told him.
When you're here, before you get here, when you're here, way back here.
Before I get to that stage, yeah. Because sometimes when I'm here, I'm angry, so I internally go into myself again.
But maybe then if you did your journal, and then you figured out what it was about.
And then go back to here and then talk to him.
Because when we're there and it's going all around in here, how hard is it to know what it's really about?
Yeah, because sometimes I don't even know myself. I'm just trying to figure it out. Because sometimes I'm like, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Or is it him? Or is it just that where we are at the moment, bad space, I'm tired, he's sore, and we're just in a bad place,
But when we think about silent and the things that we've said about silent today, it's your place you go when you've been harmed.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about first and foremost, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been harmed. I'm hurting. Because somebody said something or did something to hurt me.
But I did think about what you said last week, Robyn, when you said that's on him. Yeah, and when I went away last Monday, and some things he was grumpy at, I was just like, that's on him.
Yeah,
it was actually really good.
It's easy, eh? It's much easier once you go, I had nothing to do with that. That's his behaviour.
And I think that's why I'm a little bit more happy here.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of gone, same with Tanner. I don't like the way he speaks to me, but I'm like, that's on him. It's a good way to...
He'll lose his phone. That's the boundary, mate. You cross that one, your phone's gone. There's no reason to get emotional about it. You already know what. He crosses it, you take the phone. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you make a decision about when it goes back.
Yeah.
So you've got these rules set up with Tanner. You know what's happening. So there's no like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
There's none of that because you've all got agreed upon rules. And
which we're going to do this afternoon.
Yeah. And then the phone goes back. Oh, Tanner, great. I love the way you've been speaking to me over the last few days. And that's awesome. Thank you.
Appreciation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, oh, that's on. I'm not going to react to that. How am I going to react to it? Oh, we have boundaries and rules to deal with that.
Yeah.
And Ian, if he chooses to go off, well, Ian, unless you talk to me and tell me what's going on, I don't know. So right now, that's your behaviour, not mine.
Yeah. Because he talks to my sister quite different to me, and sometimes I get a little bit, I don't think jealous is the word, I think it's hurt, you know, because I'm like, he's really happy with her. Hi Debbie, how are you? And then with me, he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
I just made you breakfast, or, you know, I'm your wife, but you just treat me like this, but you're okay with my sister. Like, and I'm not putting her down, because I heard them laughing the other day, and I loved it. I was like, oh, they're laughing. Like, how come he doesn't laugh with me? Is it me? Is it me?
It's his behaviour. He's in charge of his emotions. He's a big person. He's in charge of how he comes across, what he says and what he does.
Yeah. And that's why I need to go, it's all on, it's on you.
And
like
for both of you, it's years of unresolved stuff.
Yeah, huge.
You know, one little log can bring back 20 years full of rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah. We have been through quite a bit, Ian and I, and I've had counselling twice around us as our relationship, and one was before we got married, and that's probably because of past relationships I'd had in baggage, and so it was based around fear, and it was based around, you know, someone cheating on me basically, and I got through that, and that was good. And the next time I had counselling, it was based around Ian and his mother and the trust.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was three of us in this marriage.
Yeah.
And the counsel was awesome, but you know, part of the problem was his mum, and I wanted Ian. He's always had a good relationship with his mum, and I wanted that to continue, but I just didn't want him to talk about the things about me to his mum. I wanted to keep that between us. And we...
And that seems fair and reasonable.
Yeah, and the counsellor, you know, at the end of the day, I guess, you know, it was like, well, because I didn't know how to resolve it, but I think I went back to silent. I just didn't trust anymore. So there was quite a few things even broken back then. And
Does that still sit in your hurt?
A little bit.
I wonder next week if we could do a picture of silence. What silence has in it? Because it seems that silence carries a lot.
I even talked to Ian about, I didn't tell him at the time I was having counselling, I told him later, and I said, look, I've been getting some counselling because it's around your mum and you and me and our marriage, basically, our marriage. And I said, you know, I just don't, because I didn't know how to communicate, because I asked Ian not to disclose things to his mum, and it still continued, and that's why I ended up going and having counselling, because I thought, I don't know how to resolve this. And in the end, I did talk to him, and I said, you know, I don't like you sharing my information. It might be about my health, it could be about our marriage, and I don't like you, if I've asked you not to share that with your mum, that's what I expect, because it's our marriage. And he goes, oh, what's the big deal? So he kind of brushes it off, and I said, well, it's about trust. And I said, I've lost that trust now, because even when I've asked you not to do that, you've just gone and done it anyway. And there was one when I was pregnant, Ian took some photos of my tummy, and I wasn't naked or anything, but just my tummy, and I just said, look, for me, it's my body, and I just want those photos to stay with us, just you and me. I don't want that shared with your mum or anybody else. And I said, do you agree with that? And he said, yep, that's fine. And then one day I went upstairs and the office door was open and his mum and Ian and his mum were in the office, and I just peeked my head around the corner and he was showing photos of my pregnant tummy. and it's not a big deal from his perspective, but for me it was quite a private picture. You know, I used to go around to my brother's place. He'd go, show us your tummy, and I go, no, it's my tummy. I don't want to lift my top up and show everybody my tummy, my baby tummy. But yeah, it was quite. But I just, when he had his mum in the office and he was showing her, I just snuck away quietly, and I thought, no trust. Yeah. And I think for him it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But for me it was. Yeah, that's the difference.
And he didn't acknowledge that or respect it.
Yeah. And even though I'd asked him not to do things, he didn't even say, well, why don't you want me to do things? I just say, look, it's my tummy and it's my body, and I just want to share this. This is our marriage. I want it kept between you and me. I don't want it to go out there.
Yeah, so did silence come into it then?
Oh, yeah. I just shut down, and I treat him normal, and he was still my partner and my lover, but I just didn't tell him anything. There were just things I wouldn't share with him anymore.
Gosh, that's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's 11 years ago. Like 12 years ago when Tanner was in my tummy. Yeah. I just thought, if I can't trust you, then where to from here? Yeah, it's a long time. And one day we were at his mum's place, and she was telling us what we should do with our house. This is when we had a house in Christchurch. And because I'd been hurt a few times from Ian's mum, just some things she had said to me. And I know, like and he doesn't know this, but when we got married, at our wedding, we're in Rarotonga, and she had told I called her my best woman, not my bridesmaid, but my best woman. I had one. And she had told my best woman that Ian's been out with some really classy chicks, and I'm surprised he's marrying someone like Norah. And I was like, and she told me, and I wish she hadn't, because it really hurt. But I've never ever told him that, and I just thought, wow. And we're fine now. Since we had Tanner, her and I get on a lot better. But up until Tanner, there was these little diggy remarks from her over the years, and I felt quite hurt. And there was one where I can't remember what she said to me, but it hurt, and I told Ian about it. And I said, your mum is really nasty to me sometimes, and the way what she says to me, but the way she says it as well. And he said, there's two things you can do, Norah. You can tell her to F off, or you can just ignore her. And I went, well, I'm not going to tell her to F off, Ian. She's my mother-in-law. And I said, I wouldn't even say that to my own mum, I might say, none of your business, mum.
Yeah.
But I said, I kind of want support. And he said, well, mum's mum, and you're not going to change her. And I thought, but I need you, Ian. I need your support.
But he'd already accepted that side of her, hadn't he?
So it was hurt even way back then. Yeah.
Well, I'd really love to be able to talk with you further about that next week. Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I've just moved forward, but the silence is still there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be an interesting picture. If you want to.
But I am here at the moment.
Yeah, yay. We need to go home and have the big convo tonight.
And the good thing is I've given Tanner the heads up.
Yes.
I've given the Tanner heads up that he knows we're going to have a family